Have you ever heard like a song or seen something where two completely different worlds just smash together and somehow it just clicks?
Yeah, totally. It can be kind of jarring at first, but then fascinating.
Exactly. And that's exactly what hit me with this track, Bar Bending by Juju Cartoons. I mean, it sounds like a rap song, right? But then you listen closer.
And bam, it's packed with references to Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Right. So today we're diving into that. We've got the lyrics pulled from Genius and the official transcript from the YouTube video itself.
Yep. And our mission really is to unpack this collision. Avatar meets hip-hop. What's going on lyrically? What are the references? What could it all, mean?
Okay, so first impressions.
Yeah.
The vibe is interesting. You've got the whole Avatar universe, bending spirits, ancient cities.
And then you overlay that with, pure modern rap conventions. Slang, boasting. What do the lyrics say? Kung fu bars.
Yeah, kung fu bars. And some pretty confrontational language, too.
Yeah.
Stuff like ops, which, means rivals or enemies.
Right, and bitch. It's a stark contrast to the tone of the original show, isn't it? Settling disputes with elemental duels versus, this.
Totally. It's that clash, that juxtaposition that's immediately gripping. How they take these iconic Avatar things and just twist them.
Exactly. Let's talk about waterbending. In the show, it's this graceful, powerful element. Healing, defense.
But here, the lyric is waterbending, shots of Henny, mix it with some drops of Remy.
Huh. So controlling water becomes mixing cognac.
Yep. It's taking the idea of bending, but applying it to something completely mundane, or maybe not so mundane, depending on how much Henny and Remy.
Yeah.
But definitely modern.
And it doesn't stop there. There's that line about the ancient city.
Oh, right. Snort coke from the ancient city.
Which is, wow, you think of places like Omashu or Ba Sing Se from the show, these grand historical settings.
And then juxtapose it with something so gritty and, frankly, illegal. It's designed to grab your attention, that contrast.
Definitely. And firebending gets a similar treatment, but maybe less jarring.
Yeah, it seems more metaphorical. Spit these flames, firebending. It feels like it's about rapping, right? Delivering powerful verses.
Like the rapper's skill is their form of bending, projecting that energy, that heat through their words. It kind of fits in a way.
It does. And the artist actually calls themselves Gang, which is, obviously a direct nod.
The core group of heroes. But then, straight after adopting the name, you get lines like, what was it?
100 years of sleep. Now I'm back for revenge, bitch.
Right, which references Aang being frozen, sure, but frames it with this really aggressive, vengeful motivation that's, not very Aang-like.
Not at all. And the modern world keeps crashing in. There's the line about only being seen on a Netflix binge.
Which is just funny, thinking about Aang, Katara, Sokka, worrying about their Netflix queue.
It pulls you right out of the fantasy setting.
Yeah.
And then there's the new Fire Nation bit.
Oh, yeah, what the fuck is up with this new Fire Nation?
It feels like it's using the Fire Nation, not as the actual empire from the show, but as a metaphor for, current problems or frustrations.
Yeah.
Maybe authority figures or just annoyances.
Could be applying that major conflict from the show to maybe more everyday struggles or feelings of opposition. It's an interesting reinterpretation.
So, shifting gears slightly, let's talk about the rap side of things. There are a lot of familiar hip-hop tropes here.
Oh, for sure. The braggadocio is front and center. They want smoke. Well, we got plenty.
Ice these folks. It's complimentary.
Yeah.
That kind of boasting, asserting dominance, it's classic.
And the whole ops theme runs right through it.
Shooting these ops, I need an Emmy. And even that playful line, call me Twinkle Toes, because I dance around the ops, which is another Avatar reference, actually, Twinkle Toes.
Good catch. Yeah, Toph calls Orang that, so it's blending the boasting with the source material again. Clever.
There's also some more adult content.
Right, the line, all these single hoes want to dance on my cock.
Yeah.
That definitely pushes it away from the original show's audience.
It firmly plants it in a certain style of rap, highlighting that contrast again.
And even addressing the rapper persona itself, like the line about being vegetarian, but I handle this beef.
Yeah, that's a great one. Playing on the dietary choice versus beef, as in conflicts or feuds in the rap world, it shows some self-awareness.
And just dismissing rivals, Your rap's sounding like Ramble to me.
These men can't hold a candle to me. Pure confidence, pure rap battle energy.
And the use of ice, like jewelry or status, but then twisting it literally.
Ice cold drip. No, figuratively, I spin the block. No, literally.
That's actually pretty clever wordplay. It takes the metaphor and then grounds it back in a literal, almost mundane action.
So when you try and piece it all together, what's the takeaway? What's the interpretation? It feels like more than just throwing references around.
I think so too. It's like it's deliberately connecting this huge fantasy world with everyday, sometimes kind of rough modern life.
Yeah, grounding the epic and the contemporary. Maybe there's humor in that.
Yeah.
Definitely some irreverence towards Avatar, perhaps. Maybe. Or perhaps it's a strange kind of homage, like using the framework of something loved to talk about current experiences.
It could even be a sort of commentary, right? Using Avatar's themes of power, balance, and conflict, but filtering them through this modern lens, maybe to say something about our world.
That's a really interesting thought, holding up a mirror in a way.
And just the act itself, the mashup, is creative. Taking known things from both worlds, bending, ops, Jiang, beef, and making something totally unexpected.
Definitely memorable. And some specific lines really stick out for their wordplay. You mentioned Kung Fu bars.
I was Kenny. Yeah, who's Kenny? Is it a specific reference? South Park. Someone else known for being tough. It makes you wonder.
Adds a layer. And the flow line.
Oh, machine this flow like my first name's vending. That's just great.
It really is. Creates this image of effortless, consistent delivery, like a vending machine. Smooth.
And the chorus ties it all back. The water, bending, Henny connection, dealing with ops. It keeps reinforcing those core mashup ideas.
So it really makes you question the intent behind it all. Is this parody? Is it a tribute? Is it just having fun with sounds and concepts?
Could be all of the above, honestly. Sometimes creativity doesn't have just one single neat intention. The fact that the video title explicitly calls out Avatar: The Last Airbender shows it's very deliberate, though.
Yeah, they want you to make that connection. And presumably, the visuals in the video would add even more layers to how you interpret it.
Absolutely. And isn't this just like peak internet culture? Remixing, reinterpreting, mashing up different cultural touchstones.
It really is. Nothing seems sacred in a way, but that freedom leads to some really unique, sometimes bizarre, but often interesting creations.
So wrapping this up, bar bending is this wild ride, isn't it? It slams Avatar and contemporary rap together.
Yeah, you get this confrontational, boastful tone using the language and ideas of a beloved fantasy world. The wordplay is sharp, the reinterpretations are surprising.
It's bold, it's funny, it's definitely unique.
And it really does make you think about how we reinterpret stories, right? How familiar things can be twisted into something completely new. It just shows the power of that kind of creative transformation.
Definitely. So maybe a final thought for you listening. Have you encountered other cultural mashups like this? You know, things that took two worlds you knew and just threw them together in a way that made you stop and go, huh?
Yeah, what was it about that combination that grabbed you? Was it funny, clever, thought-provoking? What makes those unexpected mixes work, or sometimes maybe not work? Something to think about.